Hey everybody, Mr. Reeves back with you yet one more time. And right now we're going to be looking at multiplying and dividing numbers in scientific notation in IXL. All right, everyone's favorite practice source on the internet. So, remember, when we are multiplying, we're going to multiply the coefficients and add the exponents. And when we are dividing, we're going to divide the coefficients and subtract the exponents. All right, let's see how it goes here. So we have 2 times 2 is 4. You'll notice all the coefficients are 4. And then 3 plus 2 is 5. So we are looking for 4 times 10 to the 5th for that first answer. Most excellent. All right, here we go. 2 times 2 is going to be 4, right? 4 times. And then it's going to be 10 because in scientific notation, the base is always 10. And then the exponent is going to be 2 plus 2, which is 4. Awesome. Okay. Now, if you're going, oh, wait, this one, that first number is not in scientific notation. Okay, let me remind you of a little friendly fact. 10 to the 0 power is 1, right? So 3 is the same as 3 times 10 to the 0 power, right? Because 3 is the same as 3 times 1. Do you agree? So I can rewrite this as 3 times 10 to the 0 power, right? Times 3 times 10 to the first power. Well, 3 times 3 is going to give me 9. And 10 to the 0 times 10 to the first, well, 0 plus 1 is 0. So we're looking for 9 times 10 to the first power. All right, let's go ahead and skip up to the next level. 20 times 3 to the 10th power. Again, 20 is not written in scientific notation. 20 would be 20 times 10 to the 0 power, right? Times 3 times 10 to the 10th power. Now, we should take note that this number is not actually in scientific notation. All right, so if we wrote it this way, we would do 20 times 3, which is 60, and we would get 60 times 10 to the 10 power. But we're not going to write that because it says right here to write our answers in scientific notation. So I need to take that 60 and change it to a 6, right? Which means I made this 6 times smaller. So this must, not 6 times smaller, 10 times smaller. So this one must get 10 times bigger. And what is 10 times bigger than 10 to the 10th? 10 to the 11th, okay? So remember, you do the opposite of what you do to the coefficient. If you make the coefficient 10 times bigger, then make the exponent 10 times smaller. In this case, we made the coefficient 10 times smaller. So the exponent had to get, well, not the exponent, the power had to get 10 times bigger, which means the exponent had to go up by 1. Okay, so 6 times 10 to the 11th is the answer that we are looking for. 6 times 10 to the 11th power. All righty, put that in. Awesome, we are doing great. Okay, now I've been rewriting this first one every time, but the reality is, I hope you've seen by now, we really don't have to. I can just take this number here and multiply it by that number there. It really is a coefficient. Anytime you have just a single integer, it's times 10 to the 0 power, right? So I'm going to go 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 10 to the 7th is just 4 times 10 to the 7th. All right, so they've made these problems pretty standard, not too difficult here. All right, 4 times 1 is going to be 4, right? Times 10 to the what power here? We're going to have negative 10. There was nothing to change that, right? All right, I'm wondering if they're going to get any more difficult. Ever so slightly. 2 times 3 is 6, so we know our coefficient's going to be 6. And then what are we going to do with these? We're going to add them, right? 5 plus negative 3 is 2, so we're going to get 6 times 10 to the 2nd power. All right, I think that's all I'm going to do. Wait, oh, I see some arrows. It does jump up to another level. All right, so if we do this one, here we go. We do 50 times 8, right? That would be 4 400. Again, 50 is the same as 50 times 10 to the 0, but by now we're seeing that that really doesn't affect anything, right? So we're just going to do 50 times 8 is 400 times 10 to the negative second power. However, this is not in scientific notation. I have to move that decimal 2 places to the left and make it 4.0. I just made this 100 times smaller, or 10 to the second power smaller, right? So this one has to get 100 times bigger, or 10 to the second time bigger, right? So let me just show this real quick. This is what we're doing, okay? This right here is equivalent to that. I made this 2 decimal places smaller, so this one has to be 2 decimal places bigger. But what happens when I add these two together? What do I get? I get 10 to the 0 power. So I just get 4.0 times 10 to the 0 power. So all I really need to put is 4, right? I could probably put times 10 to the 0 power and it would probably mark it correct, but we don't need to. We just put 4 there. All right, last one, 7.3 times 1.1. And if you watched my other video, then you know I said it's okay to get out a calculator if you need to for the coefficients. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this one by hand. Ones are not bad, right? So I get 7 and 3, and then I put a 0, and I get a 7 and a 3, and I get a 3. 7 plus 3 is 10, carry the 1, and I get 8. How many numbers were behind the decimal place? 2. So I get 8.03, right? And then 9 plus 8 is 17. So 8.03 times 10 to the 17th power. All right. All right, so that is all I'm going to do on multiplication. Oh, wait, no, wait, there's one more level for reals? All right. Well, this one looks the same, right? We're going to get 6 times 7, which is 42. So we're going to get 42 times 10 to the 10th, but we're going to have to make that 42 into 4.2, which is going to make it 10 times smaller. So that one has to get 10 times bigger. So we're going to jump on that train. Oh, wait, is there a challenge level? The challenge zone. Oh my goodness. Okay, and at this point, all right, 2.48 times 7.5, I'm going to tell you, go ahead and break out that calculator. It's okay. We're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to do this problem. We're going to do 2.48 times 7.5, and when I do that, I get 18.6, okay? So the answer that I have here is 18.6 times 10 to the 10th power, right? But again, that is not in scientific notation. I need to change this to 1.86. Remember, our coefficient must be greater than or equal to 1, but less than 10. All right, I made this number 10 times smaller, so this must get 10 times bigger, so it becomes 10 to the 11th, 1.86 times 10 to the 11th power. All right, and that is going to knock out what I'm going to do on multiplication. Look at that. I got us up to a score of 91. Now let's quickly go over to division. Remember, with division, we're going to divide the coefficients and subtract the exponents. Oh man, they were hard on us. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. How about 1 times 10 to the 1? 8 divided by 8 is 1, right? 4 minus 3 is 1. How about 1 times 10 to the 1 power? All right, I'm going to skip over to the next level. Here we go. Did it actually go over? I'm not sure if it actually went over. All right, if it did, I'm skipping 2 levels. Here we go. 4 divided by 2 is 2. What is negative 2 minus 1, ladies and gentlemen? It is not negative 1. Negative 2 minus 1, subtracting a negative is subtracting a positive, is the same as adding a negative. We get negative 3, right? So we get 2 times 10 to the negative 3. All right, I'm going to skip over to the next level with division. Now I'm going to do 5.64 divided by 1.2. Again, I do not mind if you divide on a calculator. 5.64 divided by 1.2 is going to give me 4.7. 4.7 times 10, and then what do I have? I have negative 4 minus 0. I can't believe I wrote that down. Negative 4. 4.7 times 10 to the negative 4. 4.7 times 10 to the negative 4 power. All right. Okay, let's see what they got for us at the next level. All right. Really? Really? This is the next level? 6 divided by 6 is 1. 7 minus a negative 4. Again, subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. 7 plus 4 is 11. So we get 1 times 10 to the 11th power. All right. Is there a challenge zone? All right, what do we got here? 9.52 divided by 2.8. Again, maybe if I wasn't having to use a calculator, it would be more challenging. But again, I'm assuming you know how to do this without a calculator. But this isn't the time I want you spending on. So that's why I'm saying go ahead and use calculator. 9.52 divided by 2.8 is 3.4. 3.4. And then negative 2 minus 8, right? Subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative. Negative 2 plus negative 8 is negative 10. All right, so it was 3.4 times 10 to the negative 10 power. All right, and that is all I'm going to do in this video. Hopefully those were enough examples to help you get all the way to 100 if that's what you want. But remember, only a score of 80 is required. Until next time, have a great day.